Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. Another red day for the market. The sell-off continues. This is now the furthest away we have pulled back in 3 weeks from a new all-time high in the markets since the COVID crash. So we are seeing quite the downtrend here. I'm not sure if we're at an official correction yet on the S&P. I know we hit that on the NASDAQ. Just about. I mean, at the lowest of the day, we pretty much were. So the market is currently, as it stands percent-wise, in terms of how most people classify it, in a correction. It gets crazier than this, then there's some other terms that people might be saying, and some of them might not be PG. But for right now, we are taking a look at the charts. You did close with kind of like a larger body doji candle on the daily. No new updates really from Vibebot. It's been holding this red signal still. It's just kind of continuing to watch the market do the same thing. This 4-hour signal is not playing really too close to the price right now, but you attempted a rally towards the end of the day, pulled back a little bit in the last hour. The 1 hour did print a green. If we go over to the 15-minute, you can see that this red signal from last Friday, right before the close, actually held until a mixture of a few signals during this chop today throughout the afternoon. So essentially, you bounced off the support the Vibebot charted. You went up. These white lines over here chart the open, high, low, close of the previous day. You went up to this line over here. Pretty much matches, I believe, the close from yesterday. So you just kind of went up to the yesterday's close, rejected that, pulled back a little bit in the afternoon, moving over into the NASDAQ. Same thing with the doji candle. Not much to really update on. Apart from that, you did kind of get a bullish engulfing candle, or you actually just missed one on the 4-hour. And then finally on the 1 hour, the chart also flipped to a green signal. It's a little bit under this LS. I should kind of reverse those, honestly, but that's NASDAQ. Surprisingly, the Russell 2000 did actually close green. Same thing with the doji. 4-hour, you did get a bullish engulfing there, and 1 hour green as well. So looking over here, you're pretty much still testing the same support from August that it's got charted out. Flat day for, you closed flat on the Hang Seng Index, but you actually gapped down and then just went back up to close right at yesterday's close. Bitcoin is up 5%. What it's currently doing, however, is retesting the 200-day moving average, which it just broke. You can see 78.2K-ish is the support here. The VIX pull back a few percent with the new resistance charted out with this label, as you can see. And you broke above this high, which this is why you got the HR print over there. And that is pretty much it. Quickly going through some news here. Ukraine agrees to US-led ceasefire plan if Russia accepts it. So we got this news that came out today, which basically Ukraine agreed to an immediate 30-day ceasefire, which is kind of negotiated by the US if Russia accepts the plan. Ukraine is ready to start talking and stop shooting, said the Secretary of State. And, there's kind of been an agreement to conclude this as soon as possible for developing Ukraine's critical mineral resources. And scrolling a little bit further, the United States will communicate to Russia that Russian reciprocity is the key to achieving peace. And we will see what Russia's response is there. The other crazy back and forth in the markets today was all the tariff stuff. For the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of, all right, one day we're doing this for tariffs, the next day we're going to be reversing that a bit, and the next day we're going back, and the next day we're doing something else. Today it was more like every hour there was a difference in opinion. So it's been quite crazy. Peter Navarro went on CNBC and said that Trump no longer plans to raise tariffs on Canadian steel, which came 6 hours after Trump announced his plan to double import duties on Canadian metals in response to Ontario's decision to slap a 25% tax on electricity exports to the US, in which I think Trump issued like a national emergency for electricity. So a lot of back and forth over there. So on Tuesday morning, Trump threw gas on the smoldering conflict with a post talking about new tariffs. And Trump said he was imposing the latest tariffs in response to Ontario's decision to slap a 25% tax on the electricity. That move by Ford itself issued in retaliation for the sweeping 25% tariffs that Trump had planned on imports from Canada. And he said that this will go into effect tomorrow morning. And here you can see a chart of aluminum and steel imports to the US in 2024. And look at the top right there. It's quite crazy. So a lot of different things taking place here with the tariffs. We go through just like the news from today. This is right around the open. Trump says this will go into effect tomorrow morning. And Trump threatened to shut down the car industry in Canada. This was talking about the national emergency on electricity. So the market starts to sell off here. Continuing on, we have the minerals deal. Ontario Premier says he will not hesitate to cut off power supplies to the United States if need be. And then, just a lot of back and forth over here. Going a little bit higher. Canada's Carney, I will ensure our response has a maximum impact on the U.S. So really just both sides standing their ground, nobody really budging. And, 6 hours before this, so around like noon, the stock market continues to fall. And Canada would be wise to not shut off electricity for Americans came out from the White House. Just, you can see back and forth, right? And I'm just trying to show you this picture. And then later on in the day, of course, there was kind of the flip back to maybe lowering that. We will see tomorrow. We will see if there's more back and forth tomorrow. It is quite crazy. Another thing that did happen was Trump actually ordered a Tesla. I'm sure some of you have seen the pictures with Musk there with him. But yeah, as you can tell with the way I'm reading things, it has been an exhausting day. So I'm going to attempt to read some fun facts here. Your tongue has a unique print, just like your fingerprints. So if crime shows ever run out of ideas, maybe we'll start using tongue print scanners instead. I don't know how many criminals go around like their crime scenes that they're making, licking everything that they're stealing or whatever crime they're committing. But okay. The smell of freshly cut grass is actually grass cream. I have heard something like that before. Wombat feces is cube-shaped. That is interesting, I guess. Some jellyfish can live forever. I thought that a part of living beings, I don't know, I learned this in like middle school biology, or maybe I didn't, was like the fact that if you're living, you have to die at some point. Maybe not, I don't know. And you can actually hear the difference between hot and cold water. I don't think I've ever tried to hear water before. But you know what? There is a planet where it rains molten glass sideways. So there are the new facts from today. Thank you, ChatGPT, for a somewhat not entertaining pick. We're going to keep hoping that one day we just get 10 crazy facts, but for right now, that's what you're going to have to deal with. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want Vibebot. It's the first link in the description. Apologies for the lower energy with the reading and stuff today. It has been crazy, as you can tell. So have a great night.